Welcome to Curious Cosmos. Today we are going to understand one of the most controversial policies of British India, the Doctrine of Lapse. This policy changed the fate of many Indian kingdoms and became one of the major reasons behind the Revolt of 1857. So what was this doctrine? Why did Indian rulers hate it? And how did it help the British expand their empire? Let's travel back in time and find out. What is the Doctrine of Lapse? The Doctrine of Lapse was introduced by Lord Dalhousie, who was the Governor-General of India from 1848 to 1856. According to this rule, if a ruler of a princely state died without a natural male heir, his kingdom would lapse, meaning it would automatically go under the control of the British East India Company. The British did not accept adopted sons as legal heirs, even though adoption was a common tradition in Indian royal families. So, if there was no biological son, the British simply took over the state. Why did the British make this rule? The British wanted to expand their territory and increase their political power. Instead of fighting big wars every time, this policy gave them a legal excuse to annex Indian kingdoms. It was a clever but unfair strategy. States annexed under the doctrine. Many important kingdoms were taken over using this rule. For example, Satara, 1848, the first major state annexed. Jaipur and Sambalpur, Baghat Udaipur in central India. Jhansi, 1854. Nagpur, 1854. Among these, the annexation of Jhansi became very famous later. Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi. When the king of Jhansi died, he had adopted a son, but the British refused to recognize the child as the heir. They decided to annex Jhansi. Rani Lakshmibai strongly protested. She requested the British to allow her son to rule, but they rejected her appeal. This injustice made her one of the strongest leaders in the Revolt of 1857. Her famous words are remembered even today. "I shall not surrender my Jhansi." Impact on Indian rulers. Indian kings and princes became very angry and insecure. They feared that after their death, their kingdoms would also be taken away. Even loyal rulers started losing trust in the British. Impact on common people. The people of these states were also unhappy. When the British took control, traditional systems changed. Taxes often increased, local customs were ignored. This created resentment among soldiers, farmers, and nobles. Connection with Revolt of 1857. The Doctrine of Lapse became one of the main political causes of the revolt. Rulers who lost their kingdoms, like Rani Lakshmibai, joined the rebellion. So this policy directly helped in creating a large anti-British movement. Was the policy fair? From the Indian point of view, it was deeply unfair. Adoption had been a respected tradition for centuries. By rejecting adopted heirs, the British were disrespecting Indian culture. From the British perspective, they claimed it helped in better administration. But in reality, it mainly served their imperial interests. End of the doctrine. After the revolt of 1857, the British government realized the damage. When the Crown took control of India in 1858, they stopped using the Doctrine of Lapse. Conclusion. The Doctrine of Lapse was a policy used by Lord Dalhousie to annex Indian states where rulers had no natural male heir. It helped the British expand quickly, but it also created anger, mistrust, and rebellion. In many ways, it planted the seeds of the First War of Independence. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Curious Cosmos. See you in the next journey through history.